What is up, everybody? This is Goodman. So I'm back on for another video. Got my mood here today, or as I like to call him, Babu. Is that racist? Maybe, but he doesn't care. So we are going to go over to number 1, New Hill, and get the new HVAC unit in. We have it in the back of the car, as well as we're going to put gas caps on, fix the cabinets, do pretty much everything except for cutting the grass today. So that house is ready for section inspection. It has been 3.5 weeks since we put in the paperwork. Now we're waiting for Section 8 to actually do what they're supposed to do. I should turn this mic on whenever it comes on. Anyway, so that's number 1 today. Then we have Tam going over to the college house. She still hasn't cleaned the refrigerator, but also they turned off the water, so didn't have any water, and it's pretty nasty in there. So we're going to get over there, get the water back on. Then we're going to also, really? I'm sorry, he just had to get on his TikTok for a second while I'm filming. That's, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You guys there? Okay. Anyway, that's good. That's what happens when you get on your TikTok. All right. Then after we get all this stuff done at college, that's pretty much it for the day. But we got a few things at college to do. Roberto got everything painted, but we need to get everything actually, like all the little stuff done, like toilet seats, things like that, get everything installed. Mahmoud is here because he wants to learn about real estate. Is he going to learn anything about real estate? Probably
from the best.
Probably not.
Only from the best.
Only from the best. So we'll see how that works out. So anyway, this is now another character unlock in our journey of finding all the weird young children that want to come work with me on these properties. So let's get into it, and we will see you when we get over to the New Hill house. I would suppose be the first one. So see you there. So Mahmoud is a friend of he is a little brother of one of my friends, and I guess he's considered a friend of mine as well. He's moving his truck right now, so let's just talk about him. He is not ready for this. I mean, we're not going to do anything like ridiculous and gross, but this kid does not work the day of manual labor in his entire life. So we will see how he does. It's going to be very, very interesting. And then we're going to put him through the ringer like we do with Jackson, like we do with Sean. All the guys. And Ira. Remember Ira. God bless Ira. I miss him. But anyway, we will see how Mahmoud does. So this should be very interesting. Okay, so Mahmoud, the reason why he wanted to come work with me is because he wants to ask questions. And I thought, what a better way to start this video, or just make a new video where we answer questions while people tailgate me in their little Lexuses behind me. So Mahmoud's gonna ask the questions, I'll give the answers, and I guess let's start with question 1.
What made you get started in this type of field of work?
Okay, so my dad is a doctor, and he was a doctor out in Fairfield, and he had a lot of patients that they would do rent-to-owns, or owner financing is pretty much what it is, where they would fix up a house, they would sell it to somebody, but then they would finance it, so they would be the bank pretty much. And those people get rent, which was really just an a mortgage payment plus interest. And then if the people defaulted, they could take the house back, and so they got all that money plus the house. And at that time, they didn't have to pay the property taxes, they didn't have to do any of the maintenance on the house, they just held the note. So they did it that way. But they also had a couple of Section 8 properties. So my dad was very interested in that, and would talk to them about it. And so he learned about Section 8 and that kind of, the rent-to-own stuff. And he always wanted to do it, but doctors are not good businessmen. And so he wanted to do it with somebody. I was supposed to go to medical school, and I was supposed to do all that great stuff. Got in, and then I was like, I don't want to do this. And so I didn't. I went and got my MBA, and then I had saved up a lot of money throughout my childhood, I guess. And then my grandfather left, I think he left me probably $5,000 or something when he died. He had a lot of grandkids, and so each grandkid got some money. I can't remember how much it was, but yeah, so we did that, and then I took all of my money. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go buy a house out in the hood.
What's your age at this point?
At that point, I was 20. I think I want to say I was 25.
Like 40 now.
Yeah, I'm 32 now. So 25, maybe it was 24. I don't know. 2016 I started, and we're in 24. So that's 8 years, right? Yeah. So 20. Oh, how am I not able? Yeah, that sounds like 24. It's like 24 into 25 I started and did that. But yeah. So anyway, so I knew about it. My dad was like, it's guaranteed rent for Section 8. You know, it's something that you should do. The government's paying for it, that's right. So I said, I really want to get into that because I like the guaranteed money. But I didn't do Section 8 at the beginning. I was too scared to do it because I was like, I had to figure it out. All this stuff is going to be a lot harder than I think. And so I didn't want to do it. And then it turned out that was the best way to do it because my first tenants, I had to like kick them out within a year of them moving in because they weren't paying the rent. Oh, you know, my mom died 5 times, and oh, this happened. You know, so all that occurred and whatever. But I got into it because of my dad, even though he wanted me to go to medical school. But now his son is a slumlord, and he's so proud of me because I did that. Anyway, next question.
How much does it take to get started in real estate?
Okay, how much does it take to get started? That's a good question. And this is in Alabama only, and Alabama is cheap. This is not California numbers. This is not New York numbers. This is not Tennessee numbers even, because Tennessee's expensive now. Florida is expensive, all that stuff. So here now, I would say if you can find a good wholesaler, you need to find someone like me. That's number one, because then people like me know the wholesalers, which is where you can get a better deal than you probably will get on the MLS. But I would say even here now, to get it, if you're cool with doing a lot of work, you need at least I would say you probably need 40 grand to start, and that would be to buy and to fix the house. So I would look to buy the house at around 28,000, 25 to 30,000, and then have $10,000 at least $10,000 to fix the house up. That would be getting help too, like hiring up guys, because I used to do it all myself, and that was very hard. And you can do it as long as you have the back. But see, I had mommy and daddy that I could sit there and lean on, and I lived at their house at the beginning, and I didn't have to worry about overhead in that case. Now, if you have a family and kids like I do now, it's very, very, very hard to do that same thing now. You can do it, but it is hard. So I would say 40K in Alabama, you can buy your first rental. But what I would tell you to do is not buy a rental. I would tell you to flip a house. I tell you to flip the first one, because if you can make around like a $12,000 or $13,000 profit, now you kind of understand how it works. I would flip another house. Now you have about $26,000. Now, of course, you got to pay taxes on that. Or you can just let it ride, baby, and hope to God that you, at the end of your year, you flip enough where you have enough for the taxes. That's fine if you want to do it that way. But I would flip like 2 houses, maybe 3 houses, and then I would take the proceeds of that and I would go and buy my first rental. And I actually have a guy who's in the process of doing that. I think September comes around, he's going to buy his first flip, and then I just told him, I said, you flip like 2 or 3 of those houses, and then you're able to get a rental. And then the rental is just, it's monthly income, which is nice. I have monthly income that comes in from rentals, and I have my flip money that comes in, which I just use to save to do things like renovate my house or pay off my house like we just did. Yeah, we just paid off the house, yeah. So it's a big deal, yeah. It's a fantastic feeling. And so, but that's what I use that money for. That money is for like doing things like big. Like if I want to put on, 2 more wings onto my house and go back with it, I'm saving up for that, and that's what I use the flip money for. But the flip money is also good to use to get the rentals, so you have the income. Like you can save a little bit from those flips, and that's why I say probably 3. Because if you take if you can do it as fast as I can, and in 2 or 3 months you have the house fixed and sold. I mean, you're talking you take like $3,000 or $4,000 off of every single transaction, so you can live. If it's just you by yourself, obviously, then you can make that work. But I mean, at the same time, you're probably gonna have a job. So if you got a job, you're good to go, because you just need to get the cruise. Like I said, I made it where your budget, you have 40K to buy, to flip, and to get out and to get another house.
You're not taking any loans out from banks or anything like that?
Say again?
You're not taking any loans out from banks?
I do not take loans out from banks. I do everything in cash. I have no loans whatsoever at this point. All of my houses, the 20 rental properties I have, are all paid off, which I think that sounds crazier than all these people. Oh, almost got myself in trouble there. Yeah, well, see, that's exactly right. And so all these people online that talk about how they have 150 houses, yet every single one of them has a note on it because we refinance, because we do whatever. I own all those things outright. Now, I'll say this. In my heart of hearts, I owe my parents money. My dad doesn't look at it that way. He looks at it as a family. Like this is like I build the wealth for the family to help with the next generations down, where people are like, okay, we have a family business now where all the nephews and all the nieces and all the grandsons and granddaughters, if they want, can work and doing this kind of stuff. And so I look at it where I owe him money, and he looks at where I owe him no money. But together, I would say that's why my mom is a person in the business itself, and we own everything outright. There is no debt. There is no nothing. And when I do these flips, like obviously now I don't use any of my parents' money, except for doing the flips. Like they invest in those flips, and I give them like their interest and all that stuff back in like whenever we do it. But yeah, that if I try to do it with all cash, if you want to go to a bank, you can, and it is possible. And some people have to do that if you want to start on this. I'm giving people an option of you can do it with cash. You have to be patient though. You have to save up your money. You have to be smart with your money. You can't sit there and go on the sports gambling websites and try to get that parlay to hit. Like you just stop doing all that kind of stuff. Stop buying the Twinkies. Don't be me. Don't go to the gas station and buy a Monster. I'm about to go to Lowe's and buy a Monster. Don't do that. Take your money and save it for that. What's one more question before we go to Lowe's, and we'll do some more on the way over to New Hill.
Have you only bought Section 8 rentals and properties like that, or have you ventured out?
Okay, so have I only done that? Yeah, I have one house that's in Southside that I rent to a fraternity. So that's the house I used to live in, and now I rent that one. Other than that, I am in the process of maybe buying another property, but it's in Florida. But that probably is never going to come to fruition. I just have an offer in on it, and we'll see what happens. But yes, all of my houses at this point are just Section 8 houses in the hood of Birmingham, Fairfield, Midfield, all that good stuff. And I don't know. That's my niche. I don't really feel like I need to go and venture out. A lot of people have told me you need to go flip houses in Vestavia and Hoover and all the nice places. But yeah, the problem is I definitely have to go get a loan. I definitely have to get financing for all of the construction stuff, and it's a good price. And you have to get all the permits and stuff from the city, and you got to do this, that, and the other. And I've dealt with that before with my house in Hoover, but I don't want to do that. I don't like it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time, and I would rather stick with the stuff that is out in the hood because it's cheaper. I can get, if I take $30K and buy a house, right? Okay, I put 10 grand into it. I can sell that house for 70. Okay, so you're looking at it and you go, well, I mean, that's pretty good, but that's not as good as like I could sell a house in Vestavia and get like 150. Yeah. But I look at it where it's like I get $30,000 off of it. Like take off all the taxes, take off all the stuff for the realtors, take off the stuff for closing. You're still at about 25,000 or maybe 24,000 that you made in profit over 2 or 3 months. And you probably didn't have to get permits because you're not doing anything that's like really you're going in there, you're fixing sheetrock, you're painting a place, you're maybe putting down flooring and like really small stuff, and you're making it worth 70. So you don't have to put so much of your money and capital and stress into it. That's why like I don't really stress. I stressed out because I had 5 houses going at the same time. That was a problem. But when it's right now, I have 0 houses going. I have one that closes today. I have one that closes on Monday, and I'll have 1 house left over. And I'm chill as a cucumber because the only amount of money I have in that house that's going to be left is like $7 grand. And so every other house is sold. I have all my money back. I have all my investment money back. I have all my rentals that are making money for me. So I'm not worried about it. And that's the thing is that what I would tell people to stop doing is they go and they'll do the houses like in the nicer neighborhoods, and they'll do like 5 or 6. And it's very stressful because they're like, well, but it's more money and I got to keep it going. That's right. But one at a time, and you make that chunk of money and you're not stressed. And I would rather my time be quality time with my family, with my friends, with whatever. I don't need to be overly stressed. Am I saying that everyone needs to be like sitting there, like, oh man, I have one house going, I'm just going to sit back because I have nothing to do today. No, at that point I would say go get a second house. But I wouldn't do a third, I wouldn't do a fourth, I wouldn't do a fifth. I would 2 at a time is the most I would do. I did 5 at a time just recently. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. Juggling everything, money, all that stuff. You can ask my wife, it was horrible. And I was stressed all the time, barely sleeping. I talked to this camera was probably the best psychiatrist because I sat there and just talked to it like about how it was so horrible. But I would do 1 to 2 houses at a time in the hood. You can get the crews to do it. It's super quiet. You don't have to worry about the city stuff. Because like I said, you're not doing stuff that needs to be permitted. If you're sitting there adding on to the house, taking out walls, yeah, you're going to have to go get a permit for that, and they're going to find you. But for the most part, you walk in, you clean it up, you paint the thing, you fix the sheetrock, you make sure everything's working. That's the thing. If everything works, usually you're at the point where you can sell it. And someone will buy it because there's investors that will always buy. And you can make that chunk of cash and go buy another one and just save up and then get your first rental. 1 rental. Try it out I would try out minimum 6 months, but probably minimum more of like a year. And then I would continue doing rentals. But yes, the question was, do I only buy in the hood? Yes, I only buy in the hood. All right, we'll be right back. We got to go into Lowe's. That's a lot of time spent talking. All right, so we're back after Lowe's. We just went to the 8 Mile house and got that taken care of, put the HVAC units in it. So now we're back to more questions with Mahmoud. So, next question.
What about doing multifamily properties yet?
Okay, multifamily properties. So, Grant Cardone's a huge proponent of multifamily. A lot of people are. The one thing I will say about multifamily is I don't like it because when one person does something stupid, they destroy, 15 different units of mine. And people will say, oh, but wait, the insurance, I have to pay so much money for insurance now, just like everyone else does. And the insurance companies are not going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. When you burn down like one apartment complex, we're totally going to cover you for the next one. Like, they're not going to cover me anymore because I'm going to have to make a huge claim on it. They're going to have to they'll do all the rental assistance for all 15 places. And then I probably will get the money to rebuild, but it's not going to be enough money to rebuild. And I just don't like taking the chance of having everyone in one consolidated place. Because a lot of people are stupid, and having a bunch of stupid people all together is really dumb. You're gonna have to deal with more violence, more people not agreeing. I have a duplex. I've had multiple duplexes, and they're the hardest things to keep rented because people are constantly moving in, moving out because they don't like the neighbor, they don't like the neighborhood, but really they don't like the neighbor. They don't like sharing with other people. They want their own place, and I like having it where everything is consolidated down to one building for one family. So when they're stupid and they put the grease on the burner, and then it catches on fire, we're not sitting there going, oh my gosh, I just lost 15 units, as opposed to I lost 1. And it's, again, yeah, sure, is the economy of scale a good thing? Like, you have, I have 100 different units all in one place as opposed to 100 units all across the city. Yeah, it's better to have everything consolidated down, and then you can buy, everything's the same, right? So like I said, economy of scale, I can buy a bunch of toilets that are all the same. Everything's the same because everything is the same in an apartment complex. Yes, that is nice and that does work. I'm trying to figure, there's a place where there's a huge bump in this road, and I think it's up here. I just keep slowing down because I don't want to hit it so hard. I think it's where that van is now. Oh, there it is. Hello. See, I know all about it. But that's where the economy of scale comes into play, which is great. But like I said, I don't want to deal with everybody under one roof in one unit and going in there. It's too much hassle. I like where I'm just dealing with one family at a time. Something goes wrong, okay, we'll fix it, we're done. Multifamily can work, I just don't like it. Oh, my dad's calling me. Probably the only thing I would probably do with multifamily is a 4-plex, and that's about it. All right, let me go answer my dad. Okay, so over here we got the AC unit. We got everything else done here, but the AC unit on the other side, I had the smart idea of saying, hey, let's check and see if there's any wasps, and there were. So there's wasps inside here, so Mahmoud and I are gonna we're gonna cut all this wood out. Then we're gonna pull the unit in, and we're gonna pray that there's no wasps that come and kill us while we do that. So you guys will get the front row seat to doing all that stuff, and I guess have fun watching. All right, so window unit's out. New window unit on the ground. We're gonna open this thing up, get it in the way it should be. Okay, great. Anyway, we're gonna get it in the way it should be, and then we will be done here in this house. And I pretty much, besides mowing the lawn like tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday. Wait, today's Wednesday. Tomorrow or Friday. That's pretty much all we have left here to do before we wait for a Section 8 inspection to happen. So get this thing in, and then I'll show you guys the after. It's not that fun, but whatever. All right, so here's the aftermath of all the stuff that we've done. This thing is nice and cold. We put it at 76. It is blowing cold, cold air. Ooh, nice. Feels very, very good. We're happy. We're gonna now turn this off just so that Freon can sit and not be worried about it. I gotta come back. We gotta foam this stuff just so that this is nice and like we don't have any of this garbage here. Foam around there. I might just go ahead and put like those guys back, or get Roberta to come here and do that. Just put it around this part and that part, just so we don't have to put foam. And then that would make it so that we can actually save this unit and take it out later on. So anyway, that takes care of this house. We've got to go over to college now, or we probably need to go to Home Depot and Griselli and get some supplies for college, because Tam really wants us to put the fan in there for her. So I said that would be fine. So we'll probably go over and do that, grab the things, head over to college so they have some airflow in that house, and we will be right back. Anyway, we were at the college house. Sincere's here, Tam's here, Mahmoud's here. So we got doors that we're trying to get shut now. We got the front door actually working again, which is nice. House is painted. I think I already showed everyone that though. So we got some things like in here where Roberta just lost the doorknob. We don't know where that went, so goodie. Also, go grab the toilet seat. We left that in the back of the car and it rained on it. Yeah, it should be in the back of the truck. Anyway, so we're gonna start drilling this stuff out, boring it out, and then we're gonna get to work on the other little things here that we have to do, and then we're going to leave. So anyway, should have fun. See you in a second. All right, the end of a day, end of a not so long day, but it feels like a long day because it's so freaking hot and humid outside. But we got everything done at college. All the doorknobs are nice and tight. We got Tam in there dealing with the refrigerator and the stove because we got the water back on, and she's got the fan in there, so she's not complaining about it being so hot. So right now we're actually on the way to go pick up a couch, throw it in the back of the car, and then potentially drive it back out here, but I don't even know if we're gonna have enough time, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, you got any more questions? Oh, no more questions for Goodman. Well, that was a good Q&A, I have to say. Other things we did, we went to Griselli, that Fairfield house that had a bunch of, I think I filmed it, I don't know. We had to do all the yard work for it and stuff like that. It was kind of ridiculous, but anyway, that is done. We put foggers in that one. New Hill, we got the AC, and everyone saw that with all the wasps being fought off, and a bunch of like little things like the magnets and stuff on it, on the doors for the cabinets, like little dumb things that you just would never think about. So all that stuff's been done over there. We got everything done at college that we wanted to get done today. There's a couple more things that need to be done at college, but tomorrow we'll probably end up, it depends on if it's going to rain. If it rains, we'll just go do more random things at college and stuff like that. And then if it doesn't rain, then we're going to go ahead and mow like 2 or 3 yards. So anyway, this has been Goodman, signing off with another video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.